Okay, I'm going to take Emily through how to use Createspace and just show her the basics of what I know, which isn't that much because I'm definitely not a professional editor. I'm not professional using the site, but just from using it last year and this year, I'll show you what I do and how you can see how many books you've sold, how you can make changes to the interior of the book if you want to eventually down the line, and how you can change the price. And so hopefully that will answer some questions. So right now we are at www.createspace.com. Each of the students has their own account, which is their Gmail address, and then I gave them all a password to use. They at this point, if they haven't yet, are welcome to change that password and use their own when they sign in, because I've done everything that I need to have access for, so that's up to you guys. What I'm going to do is sign into my own account and just kind of show you what it looks like. And so, hopefully I will do this right. Okay, so once you sign in, it's going to go to your member dashboard. You can see I have several books here because I've created several books on here. But each of the students, it will just say your own. So Emily's, it'll just say your book title. And it should say available and order copies. So if all you want to do is order copies from Createspace at the printing price, not the listing price, so only the authors have access to this, you just go right over here to order copies. This is what I would encourage you to do if you're buying copies, to then sell to people, because then you can buy them at the printing price and sell them at the listing price. Okay, so this book that I wrote is actually my master's thesis, which I'm not trying to sell, which is why it's $2.53. This was the minimum printing price for this book, which means that at this price I will not make any royalties. It would be $0, because I'm not trying to sell it for a lot of reasons, but so this is just what it costs to print. So if I want to order a few copies to give out to family members, I would come here and order them. So that's what the authors can do, and only you guys have the option to do that. Does that make sense? Okay. So going back to the dashboard, well, if you go, let's talk about royalties and information, because everybody except for Cody, I believe, right now is set up for check payment. Now the trick with that is that Createspace only sends you a check at the end of every month, and only if you sell 100 books. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't even know that many people. But if you do direct deposit into your bank account, so parents might want to consider this, they still only send you the royalties at the end of every month, but no matter how many you sell. So you don't have to sell 100, you could sell 5 and you'll get that at the end of the month. So how you do that is you go up to my account, you go down to royalty payment information.
Since the mouse is so hard to see, like when you do something like that, just play it with your finger and then do it.
Okay, my account, and then I went to royalty information. As you can see, it does not, once you put in your bank account information, it puts stars. And then down here with your social security number, same thing. So these are not visible after you put them in, which is good. So this is mine. I have it set up for direct deposit. If I was on Emily's account, down here, there would be something that says, payment type, and it would be check. What you want to do is switch that to direct deposit, and then parents can put in the bank account information, or if the students have it, they can do that. And that's what I would encourage you to do if you actually want to get paid every month for how many you sell, unless you plan on selling out more than 100 a month. So that is how you do that.
So
And
like once you get 100, then they'll send you the check no matter how many months it took, or?
no matter what, they'll only pay you at the end of every month. That's how they pay royalties. But if you do it check, they only pay you at the end of the month if you've sold over 100. But if you do direct deposit, they pay you at the end of the month, no matter how many.
So you have to sell 100 to get them?
To get the check, yes. But direct deposit, like I said, no matter what, you get that. Good question. Okay, so then that's how you change payment information. If you want to change anything else about your account, you just go to account here, you can see mine, and then go to change account settings, and then you can change anything else that you want. This is where you can change your password, guys, and you're all set to do that now. Same thing with royalties, shipping, billing, all of that. So that's where you do that. Now, Emily had asked, how do I see how many I've sold? You can go to my account, and then you go down to view purchases, and it will show you how many of each book that you sold, and you should be able, and so you can see per book. There's several of them on here for me, or you can go to view reports, and it will give you a little bit more detailed information. So you can, if you go to detailed reports, you can see, okay, by title, you guys only have one book so far, so that wouldn't apply. By channel, which means you can see how many you sold on Amazon, how many you sold on Createspace, and that would be kind of the only two so far that you have the option of. And then over here, payment history, we'll just see how your history of the royalty payments at the end of each month. So that is how you do that. Going back to the dashboard, if you click on the title of your book, you can see this is where I actually created and published the books. So anything that you make a change to the title, you can't change the ISBN number, it is assigned and stays, but if you want to change title, if you want to change physical properties, which that means like the size of the book, things like that, I wouldn't mess with that. But the only thing that I could see you possibly wanting to change in the future would be the interior. Let's say you come across a typo that we didn't catch, or maybe you want to add something, or you want to change something about the interior of the book. You would click that, and you would come over here to make changes, and you would click change. I'm not going to click that right now because I don't want to make changes to my book. Every time you make changes, you have to send it for review to Createspace. They do a 24-hour turnaround review, and then you have to approve that. So all you would do is say make changes. Each of you, I've emailed you your final Word document version of your book. Go ahead and make your changes in that document, but when you go to save it, you have to upload it as a PDF, and that's really easy to do. So let's say you make your changes in your Word document. Where's Microsoft Word? I'm just showing kind of as an example. Okay, so you pull up your final book in the Word document, you edit whatever you wanted to change or add. All you do then is when you go to save, you go to save as, and you go to PDF. And it will save as a PDF, and that's what you upload because it will only take it as a PDF. So that is how you do that conversion. And then you just click change. I don't think anyone wants to change their cover because we customize them. They look great, but that would be the only other thing you can change. And then, oh, here we go. Here's your channels. Right now, everybody is on Amazon and the Createspace store. The difference between the two is that Createspace store gives a little bit of a discount for printing, and Amazon might be a little bit more, but you make also higher royalties on Amazon. So if you sell the book on Amazon, you're going to get a little bit more back than you would from the Createspace store, and plus Amazon is just more popular and familiar with people to buy. The reason I did not select Amazon Europe is because I figured most of us don't know anybody in Europe, so I just didn't click that option because then you're dealing with the different currencies and stuff. I mean, this is all up to you. Any of you can go in and change these anytime. I really am going to tell you, I don't know a ton about the expanded distribution options. The bookstores and online retailers, if you click on the what's this, it'll tell you a little bit about that. If you want to, I'm assuming they mean like Barnes & Noble online and stuff like that. If you want it to be available in those types of stores, then you might want to click select bookstores. Createspace Direct. Okay, this one makes me a little bit nervous because it makes your book available to independent bookstores and books resellers, and so we just don't know. This could be any bookstore anywhere, and so it makes me a little bit nervous, but that's completely up to you too if you decide you want to do that. This one, Philip and I were looking at the libraries and academic institutions. This one might be a cool one to select if you choose, because it would make your book available in certain public libraries or in schools. And I think, you know, student published work is kind of cool to share with other students. So maybe you wanna click that one and make it available to, you know, libraries. But all of that is up to you, and that's all I know about those three. So going down here, how you can change the pricing. How I chose the pricing was based on what Createspace suggested as the minimum, which would mean 0 royalties, meaning they won't, that's the minimum of what they'll print the book for. And then kind of the amount of the page amount. If you think that your book is too much money or not enough money, you can go in here to pricing and change the list price. And then you click calculate, and it'll show you over here, okay, if my book is $5, this is my book, list here for the print price, then my royalty on Amazon would only be 47 cents, and Createspace eStore would be $1.47. So they take a pretty decent chunk of it. If your book is $9, I think you only get between 3 and 4, and which is why I made them a little bit higher, because I wanted the students to get some royalties. So Amazon and Createspace do take that printing price from you, and so you only make, I don't know the exact percentage of the royalties, but you know, that's, you only make that back. So you're free to kind of mess around with list prices if you want to change yours. If you don't like it for some reason, that's how you do that. And then you would just save progress after any changes that you make. So that's how you change pricing. Now here I want to go over quickly publish on Kindle. I did not publish the students' books on Kindle, and I'll tell you why. Let's say you want to, and I encourage you to, because this is how a lot of books are bought these days, is ebook. So if you want to put your book on Kindle, go ahead and click publish on Kindle, and I'm leaving this to the students and parents and not doing it myself, and this is why. It's going to take you to Amazon, and you're going to have to sign into your Amazon account to do this, because obviously Kindle is by Amazon. And then you're going to have to put in your information again. So your social security number for selling, you know, your address, all those types of things. So that's why I didn't do it for the students. This is up to you. If you decide you want to sell a Kindle version, I would encourage you to do that, but you have to go in. If you don't have an Amazon account, you have to create one. It's free, and do it through Amazon in your own information. Kindle books, they'll give you suggestions for prices. They're usually $1 or $2 less than a print book, so you wouldn't list it as the same. So that is how you do that, and you'll take it from there. Sales and marketing, I really don't know much about these services other than how to track your sales. We didn't do a ton of marketing. That's not really kind of the goal of the class. You can decide if you want to do that. They do offer services for money if you want them to market your book, but I don't know a ton about that. And that's pretty much it. You know, once you go to reports, if you got your royalty summary, you know, how much money you've made, which channels are selling. I think you'll probably see that Amazon will sell the most. And then your details and your payment history. So that's how you take a look at that. Going back to the member dashboard, that's basically all of the information I have and what I know. But I will say this. You see over here this contact support icon? If you click this and you want to talk to somebody from Createspace, and you click your topic, let's say you want help with distribution, which is your channels. You have a question about Amazon. All you do is click, kind of give them an idea of what you want to ask about, and then you can either send them an email or you can ask them to call you. What I like to do is click call me, and then you request a call back, and you put your phone number in, and you say, okay, do you want to call now or do you want to call in 5 minutes? And they are really, really great about that. They'll call you, and you can go over any questions with them. Outside of what I just went through or what I know, I would encourage you to do this. They're awesome. They're very supportive. They'll answer any questions that you have. I've done this many times. So if you have specific questions about royalties and pricing and things like that, I've told you everything I know about that. So you will want to contact them, and they'll be awesome.